Was Gorbachev responsible for ending the Cold War? Have you ever wondered how one person's actions could change the course of history? Mikhail Gorbachev is a key figure in the story of the Cold War and the fall of the Berlin Wall. His role is often debated, so let's break it down. Gorbachev became the leader of the Soviet Union in 1985. At that time, the Soviet system was facing serious economic and political challenges. The communist model was struggling, and many people were unhappy. Gorbachev introduced two major reforms, Glasnost and Perestroika. Glasnost means openness, and it aimed to encourage public discussion. Perestroika means restructuring, focusing on making the economy more flexible. Interestingly, Gorbachev did not want to end communism. He believed that by reforming the system, he could save it. However, his policies had unexpected results. Glasnost allowed people to speak out against the government. This led to a rise in nationalist movements in Eastern Europe and within the Soviet republics. Perestroika, while intended to modernize the economy, often caused confusion and shortages. This further weakened public trust in the communist system. On the international front, Gorbachev adopted a new approach known as New Thinking. He moved away from the idea of military superiority and sought cooperation with Western nations. He also abandoned the Brezhnev Doctrine, which had allowed the Soviet Union to intervene in other communist countries. Instead, he permitted Eastern European nations to choose their own paths. This decision was vital during the peaceful revolutions of 1989, including the fall of the Berlin Wall. Soviet troops did not intervene to stop protests or regime changes. As a result, Gorbachev's reforms weakened the authority of the Communist Party and sped up the collapse of the Eastern Bloc. The fall of the Berlin Wall became a powerful symbol of the end of the Cold War. However, it was not Gorbachev's original goal. He wanted to create a better version of communism, but his actions unleashed forces that led to its downfall. So, was Gorbachev responsible for ending the Cold War? The answer is complex. He did not set out to end communism or the Cold War. Yet, his reforms and willingness to allow change in Eastern Europe made a peaceful transition possible. The collapse of the Soviet Union and the end of the Cold War resulted from both internal pressures and Gorbachev's decisions to allow more freedom. In the context of communism, Gorbachev is often seen as a reformer who aimed to save the system but inadvertently helped bring about its end. His policies opened the door for change, but the forces that emerged were beyond his control. The fall of the Berlin Wall and the end of the Cold War were direct results of his reforms, even if that was not what he intended.